According to the New York Times, Paul Krugman, the Nobel Prize winner in economy for 2008, is about to give up on Barack Obama. I empathize, but it is too early for that. Let's first try to solve our problems, and we need economists like Paul Krugman for that. Barack Obama is going to give his State of the Union speech tonight. The leaks showered on us have triggered red lights all over. He wants to cut spending. Allow me to give a quick lecture on economy. And please don't touch the stop button. You may just look at our problems in a different way. Let me put this in as simple structured form as I can, so that even those in Congress who suffer from an attention deficit disorder can understand it. Governments have a hell of a time to pay off the national debt while the unemployment rate is at 10% or higher. If governments stop spending while unemployment is high, a simple, especially a severe recession quickly turns into depression. And believe me, you do not want this. Hello there, welcome back. I'm about to propose a way to get us out of this mess, so stick with me, please. I used to compare the economy to a donut, at least under optimal employment conditions and as expressed by the domestic monetary flow. On one side you have the corporations which employ people and pay them. On the other side you have the employees, the consumers, who in turn buy goods from the corporations. Because some goods wanted by consumers are too expensive to be paid for at once, banks come into the picture and lend the consumer the money they need to buy, let's say, the car, the loan to be repaid over time. At this time it is apparent that banks play a vital role in the economy. Without their lending, car makers get out of business in a hurry. Now, let's look for a second back to 2008, the time some shady people who defrauded investors by mislabeling B and worse rated mortgages as AAA, got banks into trouble, which then curtailed lending. For that purpose, let's get for a moment to the donut, or better, the onion. You see, when consumers no longer are able to buy, let's say, cars, the car makers lay off people, which causes unemployment payment on taxpayers' expense, and of course a loss in purchase power. Because now the newly laid off people quit buying too, more layoffs follow. Do I make myself clear? Enters the government. The government is nothing more than a consumer that has income via taxes, employs people and buys goods. If the government stops buying too, more layoffs follow. Differently worded, it is the dumbest thing a government can do to stop spending in a recession, because come rain or high water, that would trigger a depression. If the government's income suffers because people cannot pay or don't owe taxes, it needs to borrow money to avoid under all circumstances such a depression. By continuing or increasing spending during a recession, it is well settled. Eventually, we return to near full employment. Once full employment is achieved, it is then that we begin paying off our national debt. Need proof? Here it is. Gee, looks to me the Dems are not the big spenders they are made out to be. And here, the red bars are Republican government periods. Hell, does the red stand for dead? As in Republican dead? Red states, get it? Today, Barack Obama will hold his State of the Union speech. It is said that he will stop spending. Believe me, that is a big mistake if he is serious, which is by no means clear. Indeed, some think that this is just a gimmick. I hope so. Oh, and something else. The use of stimulus money for shovel-ready construction projects did not yield the expected employment figures. The reason is very simple and should have been clear to everybody involved. Since the vast majority of the construction stimulus goes into items other than manpower, such as materials, the job-related stimulus efficiency is low. But then here's an idea, not necessarily new, that would be more job creation efficient and create value beyond jobs. I checked recently the small business loan activities and found that for all practical purposes the SBA is in a coma. That is where we can reactivate the economy, increase dramatically SBA lending to small businesses. Remember, small business is a significant employment contributor. It follows that we need to enable small businesses to expand and/or to be formed. One of the reasons Bill Clinton was successful in maintaining relatively high employment numbers was that his administration actively fostered innovation. Remember, the iPhone or Raspberry you text on while driving had its roots in Silicon Valley or nearby. And yes, there was a dot-com bubble, but that can be managed. So, are you with me? Something else before I go. The incompetence of Congress and the administration to explain even the simplest facts to the people, just think of the healthcare bill, is mind-boggling. It is only surpassed by the incompetence of Congress to shape a simple structured healthcare plan. For example, as I explained in my report entitled Weekend at Bernie's, a simple healthcare bill. Well, here we are. Now, that wasn't too complex, was it? Have a nice day and take care of your dogs and cats.